Hello and welcome to your weekly dispatch, where we give you a rundown of news stories of national, regional, and international significance. Here's what stood out for us this week. A conversation between Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and former BJP-appointed Governor Satyapal Malik unpacks the circumstances of the 2019 Pulwama attack. Chinese efforts to reduce dependence on foreign tech gains momentum as US-China tech rivalry and information security concerns continue to rise. The United Nations reveals highest ever forced displacement numbers attributed to conflict, violence, persecution, and human rights abuses. And for our feature story, we're looking at the mounting humanitarian crisis in Gaza as world leaders fail to negotiate a ceasefire. Death toll continues to rise as international organizations raise concerns over the weaponization of starvation against civilian populations. Keep listening for a deeper look into all these stories. The Pulwama attack in occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which resulted in the loss of numerous Indian security personnel, was cynically used by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to secure his second consecutive election victory. This assertion came to light during a conversation between Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and the former BJP-appointed governor of occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Satyapal Malik. Rahul Gandhi said it appeared that Prime Minister Modi was more concerned about being photographed than showing due respect to the fallen heroes. Satyapal Malik, who was the governor at the time of the Pulwama attack, revealed that there was no real investigation, and the incident seemed to have been exploited for political gain. Malik also highlighted that the security personnel who lost their lives were left vulnerable because they were denied aircraft for transportation, which was the established protocol. The Pulwama attack took place in February 2019. And without evidence and without waiting for an investigation, India blamed it on Pakistan and subsequently violated the international border and conducted airstrikes inside Pakistan. This brought two nuclear weapon states into a dogfight for the first time since 1971. On to tech wars. China has intensified its efforts to replace Western-made technology with domestically produced alternatives. This policy is driven by concerns over Washington's tightening restrictions on high-tech exports. According to an exclusive report by Reuters, this shift is supported by government leaders, research documents, and insider sources. The Chinese government, military, and state-linked entities have significantly increased domestic substitution efforts. Their focus is on computer equipment as well as telecom and financial sectors. State-owned enterprises have been directed to replace official software systems with domestic products by 2027, marking specific deadlines for such substitutions. The number of tenders for nationalizing equipment doubled to 235 in the 12 months following September 2022. In addition, concerns over Western-made technology's vulnerability to foreign hacking have also prompted China to focus on enhancing domestic infrastructure, particularly in sensitive areas like intelligence gathering systems and digital payments. Overall, China's accelerated efforts to replace Western technology with domestic alternatives reflect a broader strategy aimed at reducing reliance on foreign technology, particularly from the United States. Alarming figures revealed by the United Nations. Now, according to a report by the United Nations, the global number of individuals living in forced displacement from their homes has reached an alarming milestone, surpassing 114 million people. The report also noted that this new figure is a record high since the UN agency began collecting data in 1975. This represents an unprecedented figure in human history. The forceful displacement of people is attributed to war, persecution, violence, and human rights violations. The first half of 2023 witnessed a set of distressing trends contributing to the crisis. These included ongoing conflicts in regions like Ukraine, Sudan, Myanmar, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, among others. In addition to these conflicts, Afghanistan continued to grapple with a prolonged humanitarian crisis, further exacerbating the global displacement issue. Furthermore, a combination of factors such as drought, floods, and insecurity played a role in driving people from their homes, adding to the already overwhelming problem. The report further highlighted that nearly 1/3 of all forcibly displaced people globally originated from just 3 countries: Afghanistan, Syria, and Ukraine. And now for our feature story. Efforts to establish a ceasefire have thus far proven elusive in the ongoing Israel-Gaza conflict. The situation remains dire, with Israel continuing its aerial bombardment since October 7th and launching a brief ground offensive on October 26th. The incursion was aimed at clearing the way for a full-fledged offensive against Hamas targets in the coming days. In the meanwhile, civilians continue to bear the brunt of indiscriminate bombings on civilian infrastructure, including religious sites, residential buildings, as well as other services essential to human life, like hospitals and bakeries. The recent airstrikes have taken a heavy toll, claiming the lives of at least 704 people on Wednesday alone, the highest recorded single-day death toll since 1948. This brought the total death toll in Gaza to over 6,000, including 2,360 children, after 18 days of intense bombing. The current conflict started on October 7th when Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israeli settlements around the Gaza Strip, resulting in the loss of at least 1,400 lives, according to Israeli authorities. Subsequently, Israel imposed a blockade on the Gaza Strip, severing the supply of essential resources such as water, food, fuel, and electricity to its 2.3 million residents. This action has been criticized by the United Nations as a form of collective punishment. While there has been a limited inflow of humanitarian aid into Gaza via the Rafah border, it is widely regarded as insufficient to meet the dire needs of the population. Analysts warn that the longer the ceasefire is delayed, the ongoing collective punishment against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip will persist. According to Hamas, 22 captives out of the over 250 were killed in the bombardment. On the other hand, owing to health concerns, Hamas successfully released some captives after reported refusals of Israeli authorities to take them. The captives were reunited with their families through the Palestinian Red Crescent Society and the International Committee of the Red Cross. As the assault on Gaza continues, settler violence and mass incarcerations of Palestinians in the West Bank cause further detriment to the life and liberty of Palestinians in the occupied territories. Moreover, there is concern that the situation could draw in additional regional and international powers, especially as Israel gears up for the possibility of sending ground troops into the occupied Gaza Strip. If the hostilities spill out into the region, many great power influences could bring actors like Russia, Iran, the US, and Turkey into direct or indirect confrontation in defense of their respective interests in the region. I'm Hajra Asaf Khan, and this was your Weekly Dispatch.